The joke is woman mostly affected. That's the joke that's on the internet, at least currently in the year 2020. Every single time there's a disaster, you can say, or something's going bad in the world, you see all these publications, newspaper, journalists, mainstream media, social media, they start posting these articles. Slowly but surely, it comes in about women mostly affected by things. So if men lose their jobs, it's women mostly affected. Men die in war, women mostly infected. It's a little joke, but it's a truthful joke. Is these things that society kind of how do I say this? They try to appeal to women by sacrificing men because women are emotional thinkers. So you see this a lot from politicians. They target women. People think it's also has to do with women are most of the population, which technically that's it. But women actually they usually side with their men. So if the man will where the man votes, that's where women will side with. So that's one of the caveats to voting. And even though women are emotional thinkers, if they're with their man, they can actually think logically simply because they're going off the man's logic. So anyway, here's this article about the yellow fever made me move in with my new date 5 days after we met. This is another one of these articles that's saying women are affected, right? This is an entire article. It's by the New York Post and it's by Jane Ridley. So there's this woman, Carrie Lee Reagans. Apparently, she met this dude. She's 39, by the way. She's 39, but she still looks mildly attractive. But I assume that's love makeup. And after 5 days, she moves in with this guy, and this guy has a really nice place according to the description. I don't think there's pictures of the apartment. She refers to the guy as Mike, right? So, and apparently, get this, they have separate bedrooms, separate bathrooms. He has upstairs, hers is downstairs. I mean, you know, again, there's this joke people use for these type of guys called simp, but this is beyond simping, And this guy is letting her live there, giving her own place. I hope he's getting benefits, and I'm not usually one of these guys that go out my way and to say a woman must give a guy stuff, but jeez, this is awful. This is I mean, what's wrong with this dude? But it didn't say anything about my description. Didn't say anything about his job. This entire article it kept him really kind of hidden. They called him Mike. I think she just called him Mike as a pseudonym. That's what I think. But yeah, and she's not unless she didn't take her finances. She's not that poor of a person. She grew up a daughter of a dentist. She danced ballet. She was even in a movie. I think she was in that yeah, the Black Swan movie. There it is. But you know, when okay, so when times get hard, right? What you usually see when times get hard, let me X that out. You're gonna see a woman need men, right? So you'll see, even though there's still articles, anti-male articles, you'll see less and less of them, right? Because when times get hard, everybody runs to men for protection, for guidance, and that's the truth. So this is why yellow fever. It's a really bad thing, but there are positives that come out of it. Believe it or not, society gets kind of reset where people go back to their natural order of things. So, and to continue this idea of women mostly affected, I'm sure everybody saw us already, but this is just insane feminist here. I'll play a little bit of the video.
Let us not forget that COVID-19 is a gendered crisis. Nurses, nurse aides, teachers, child carers, and early childhood educators.
So you see it right here, right? So is that joke, right? Women mostly affect, even though men are 70% of men, a majority of the yellow fever. This person is so illogical, right? People think feminists are naturally evil, right? Maybe, but they're also they tend again it's genetics, it's nature at work here. Women just don't have the same logic points as men, so this is why things women also, besides the logic points, they tend to they, so I did this study with feminists actually, where feminists tend to sacrifice, rather sacrifice a man to live. For example, men are more how do I say this well, men sacrifice themselves to save everybody else. So just look around and you see, like, this is my theory behind like superheroes and comics, is that men are the ones doing things in real life, like saving everybody, firefighters, police officers, army, navy, you name it. Men are the ones who sacrifice themselves to these great feats. So comic books and movies kind of like play off this fact about men. And because they play off this fact about men, it's like why these things are pushed in like fiction, right? So basically, you know, men can save people. But imagine if men had superpowers, they would do even more of the things they normally do. So hence, superheroes are kind of like a projection of what men do in reality. Believe it or not, at least that's my opinion. So, and even like in I noticed this about, once again, about movies, right? So if you have a lot of if you notice movies, right, you notice men, they always the two things, they make women usually sexy, and they want to have sex with a woman, and they usually make them very angelic. So those are the 2 points about like male driven movies, right? While when you have female driven movies, you have men as rapists, you have men as sexist, you have men as really stupid, you have men as really scared. You know, it's like when they have female driven movies, females are projecting themselves onto men. While in male driven movies, as you can see, men try to uplift women. You know, again, they're sexy and they're angelic. You know, those are the two things that normally go with male driven movies, and female driven movies is just constant male bashing, constant male bashing. So, again, women mostly affected, and this simp. For those who don't know what a simp is, it's just simply a guy who okay, he goes out of his way to essentially do everything he can for a woman while he gets no benefits. Okay, that's essentially what a simp is. Right. Okay. Well, that's it, guys. Take care. Hope you like the story. Again, if you want to check it out, it's the New York Post. But yeah, a guy basically allowed a woman to move in with him. Seems like a pretty well-off guy. After knowing her for 5 days, woman mostly affected.